You don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are. And who you are is shaped by what you believe, consciously and subconsciously. Now, the problem is most of us never update the system. We're adults trying to build our dream lives on childhood software. I'm your host, Lauren, and together, let's explore what it really means to embrace authenticity in a world that often values conformity. If you've ever felt the pull to challenge the status quo or deepen your connection to self, you're in the right place. Welcome back to another episode of Not So Status Quo. Today's episode is going to be a big one, my friends. It's a conversation that could shift everything about how you see your life, your patterns, and hopefully about your potential. We're talking about subconscious beliefs. What they are, how they're quietly shaping every part of your reality, and most importantly, how you can begin to rewire them so that you can become the version of you who naturally calls in the life that you've been dreaming about. Now, in this episode, you are going to hear me talk about manifestation. Now, when some people hear this word, it's like alarm bells go off in their minds and they instantly just shut off and think it's woo-woo and not something that actually applies to them. But this is such a misconception that I want to clear up. Manifestation, by definition, is literally bringing about your desires into your reality. Now, how many times have you made your desires or your goals happen in your reality? Plenty of times, I am sure. So you have actually manifested a bunch of times in your life and you've not even necessarily realized you've done it. Now, when it comes to manifesting your goals into your reality, I want to clear something else up, something very important. You don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are. And who you are is shaped by what you believe, consciously and subconsciously. So today we're going to explore that together, particularly the subconscious part. We will look at why your subconscious beliefs are creating your reality and how you can finally rewire them so you can become the version of you who actually has it all, because you can have it all. Your subconscious beliefs really do underpin everything. If you've ever felt like you're doing all the right things, but nothing seems to be shifting, this might be the episode that actually flips that script. For a long time, I personally held the belief that perfection equaled success. And not only that, but hard work and perfection were requirements for financial abundance. Look, let me tell you, this mindset is a fast route to burnout and resentment. Not to mention making it so much more difficult to make meaningful progress towards my reality. Now, needless to say, I was stuck in a reality that didn't feel like my own, didn't feel like the reality I was meant to be living, because I held these beliefs and some others that just kept me stuck. It didn't matter how much I wanted my goals and desires. It really didn't. I wasn't able to move the needle far enough along to actually change my reality. So this mindset work has absolutely changed my reality. It's changed my life, and I hope that you will be willing to do that for yourself as well. So let's get into it. What are subconscious beliefs? Think of it this way. Most of us have goals and dreams and desires, and we might write them down. We might visualize them. Maybe we even hustle towards them like I did for so many years. But the truth is that none of this lands if deep down you don't believe that you are worthy of receiving it. Now, remember, we don't get what we want, we get what we expect. And that expectation is deeply based on our identity in our self-concept. I'm not sure if you've heard this term before. I talk about this a lot and you will hear about it a lot. So let's go through some examples. Let's just say that you're wanting financial abundance, but you believe that money always slips through your fingers. You will keep recreating that reality for yourself. Maybe you want to grow a successful business, but deep down you're holding on to the belief that you're not smart enough, or you're not experienced enough, or maybe that you're not even deserving. The results will reflect the belief. So if your identity is still operating on an old, outdated version of yourself, even if you're working towards your new outcome, you'll keep getting old results. And this has a lot to do with our subconscious mind. Think of your subconscious mind like your internal operating system. It's made up of beliefs, stories, narratives, and emotional patterns that you've picked up throughout your life, most of which were formed before you even knew how to question them. So it's about from the ages of 0 to 7, your brain is in a highly programmable and impressionable state. You've probably heard this before. This is where you are like a sponge. You absorb everything around you. If you have children, you know how true this is. You watched how love was given and received. You noticed what made you feel safe or unsafe. You developed meaning from every experience. And over time, those experiences became beliefs like, I have to work hard to get anything. I'm not the type of person who succeeds. Good things don't last for me. People always leave. Your beliefs around money is also a really big one that is picked up in childhood. Your money mindset really does control your reality. And this will come from seeing how your parents interacted with money. The relationship that they actually had with wealth and finances probably has followed you into your present day reality. And you internalized all of these experiences as truth. That truth became your internal operating system. Now, the problem is, most of us never update the system. We're adults trying to build our dream lives on childhood software. Now, the stat that I'm about to share with you is either going to be good news or bad news for you, depending on where your self concept and your beliefs are currently at. But 95% of what drives your actions and reactions come from your subconscious. Even if your conscious mind says, I want a fulfilling relationship or I want more money, if your subconscious mind believes you are not worthy or you are not safe or you are not capable of having it, guess which one is going to run the show? So let's piece this all together. We all have desires, right? Financial freedom, love, impact, deep fulfillment. You get the idea. Let's say you are desiring a really successful business, and your conscious desire then would be something like, let's just keep it simple, I want a successful business. But subconsciously, you might believe that you don't know enough, or maybe that you're just not cut out for business because you've never had one before. This will impact your ability to create a successful business. There is so much conflicting beliefs and limiting beliefs happening there that you will find that it is a struggle if it happens at all. Another example might be that you consciously think, I want a healthy relationship, but subconsciously you believe that love means loss, or maybe you believe that you always get hurt in relationships. Again, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe you deserve and what you expect at a subconscious level. So, to get new results, you need a new way of operating. Okay, so we've established that you manifest who you are, and this is where things get juicy. If you've read books, tried affirmations, done journaling, and created vision boards, but your life still hasn't shifted the way that you'd hoped it would, this might be why. Now, these are absolutely powerful tools, but they often don't reach deep enough on their own. Manifestation isn't about just repeating affirmations over and over. Now, you know that I am a fan of affirmations. I absolutely prescribe these in my mentoring work. They absolutely have a place and they are a piece of the puzzle. But in a nutshell, it's about becoming a match for the life that you desire so that these tools can help you get there. You can't override a subconscious belief with conscious effort alone. Think of it like trying to update your apps without ever rebooting the actual system or rebooting your phone. And I'm absolutely guilty of this. And this is why change can often feel quite hard. It's not your desire that's the issue. It's often your baseline programming that hasn't quite caught up yet. Our subconscious really does work on repetition, emotions, and especially on identity. You can't outwork your self concept. You have to become the version of you who lives the life you want. So, if you want deep love or you want abundance, for example, you have to embody the version of you who believes those things are available and safe to receive. But here's where so many people get stuck, and this was where I got stuck a lot. They try to think their way into a new reality without ever addressing the identity and beliefs they're actually operating from. You can set goals all day, but if you believe that success equals burnout, you will sabotage it. You can say you want love, but if love has always felt unsafe, you will push it away. Your outer reality is always reflecting your inner programming. It is a mirror for what is going on internally. So, if we want to change what we experience, we have to change who we're actually being. So, how do we shift it? Your self concept equals your beliefs about who you are and what's possible for you. It tells the world what to reflect back to you, it will mirror back to you. So let's get practical. There are a few steps that you can take to begin shifting your conscious beliefs so that you can start embodying the version of you who actually has the life that you desire. And we're going to cover these at a high level today, but for those who want to bring their goals and desires into their reality sooner rather than later, I have a free private podcast episode for you that I will talk more about in a moment. Okay, so here are a few starting points for you. First and foremost, we need to bring awareness to our subconscious operating system and identify your beliefs, patterns, and stories. You will hear me saying things like we need to shine a light on our beliefs, meaning we need to highlight them in order to deal with them. If we don't identify them, we don't know what we're working with. You can ask yourself questions like, what area of my life feels frustrating or feels stuck right now? Or what do I believe to be true about this particular area of my life? You could also ask, what would someone have to believe for this to keep happening? Some of the beliefs that might come up for you, it might be that I never follow through, or I'm not good with money, or I can't be successful. Now, journaling is probably going to be quite beneficial for you here. There are a few other exercises that you can do if journaling isn't something that comes really naturally to you, or you're struggling to really get into a flow with writing. You might also find that doing like a meditation, a guided meditation, can be really helpful. I often do this with my one on one clients, and the revelations can be quite profound and startling at the same time. The other thing that you could do, and I've spoken about this briefly in other episodes, is around looking at your triggers. That's another window into your subconscious mind. So, seeing what things are triggering you on the outside, it is going to be a mirror as to the beliefs that you hold about yourself, or those like fears and the limiting beliefs. So, there are a few different ways. I would definitely start with trying to journal, do a guided meditation. If you don't have one, reach out to me and I'll link you with one. And then also looking at your triggers, and combining all three of these could be really well-rounded way to uncover the beliefs that you hold quite deeply, and especially to uncover your self-concept. The second step is to get curious and honest about where these beliefs came from. Where did the belief come from? Is it yours? Was it inherited? When did it first become true for you? The more you understand about the belief, the easier it will be to reprogram it. Once you understand the beliefs that you hold about yourself and where they came from, one powerful way to start integrating change might be to create a bridging belief. So instead of forcing yourself to believe something that feels so far away, so jumping into a polar opposite affirmation, some people might actually find it easier to create a believable bridge. So I'll give you a few examples. One might be, I'm open to believing this can be easy, or I'm learning to trust myself more, or I'm learning that it is safe to succeed. You're training your subconscious to believe something new by showing it that a new experience is actually available to you. Now, the fourth step is to start acting from this new identity, from this new version of you. Visualize the version of you who already has what you desire. It might be helpful to ask yourself, what would the version of me who already has this do today? How would she move? How would she speak? How would she make decisions? How would she set boundaries? Really, really consider this. Then it's time to show up like this version would. And I know it sounds easier said than done, but it is so powerful. Rewiring your subconscious does not happen overnight, but it does happen when you bring consistent awareness, intention, and aligned action. So shine a light on those beliefs, identify what they are, what is holding you back, where they came from, what is a bridging affirmation that you can have, a bridging belief that you can have. And then it's time to show up as that person would. This work is powerful. It has seriously changed my life. It's also what I guide so many women and some men through every week. Because when you shift your beliefs, your entire reality begins to shift with it. But what we've covered today is really just the beginning. If this episode lit something up in you and you are ready to stop repeating the same patterns and finally become the version of you who actually has it all, I've created something for you. It's a free private podcast episode just for my deeper community, and it is called Unlocking the Version of You That Has It All. In it, I will be walking you through the most common mindset patterns and subconscious beliefs that are blocking you, how to start shifting your self concept, and how to begin operating from the version of you who's already living the life that you truly desire. You can get access to that episode right now for free via the link in the show notes or by heading to the Status Align Instagram page and going to the link in my bio. This is your next step if you are done circling through the same patterns and ready to become the version of you who actually lives the life that you want. And if you're someone who's so done with staying in these same patterns and these repeating loops, I'm about to release something that will walk you through step by step your beliefs, upgrading your identity, and actually embodying the version of you that aligns with the life you want. I'll be taking you through that in the private episode because this is the year that you stop repeating cycles and start rewriting everything. This work is deep, but it's also empowering because the moment you become aware of your patterns, you're no longer at their mercy. You get to rewrite the script. You get to decide who you're becoming, and you get to do it your way. And guess what? You don't have to do it alone. If this episode resonated, it would mean more to me than you can imagine if you could rate it, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this as well. Also, leave me a comment and let me know your biggest takeaway, whether you're listening on YouTube or Spotify, leave me a comment. Now, remember, your mindset is your operating system. When you upgrade it, your whole life will start to change. Thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to catching you in the next episode of Not So Status Quo. Or maybe even before then in your inbox when you grab the free private episode.